Okay, now, alright, so we're gonna finish this up today. Find out the rest of these affair babies. Who are they? How much money will they get for being a root tree? Alright. Yeah, so we know what Guy Hudson is really in love with his uh, secretaries. So we just gotta figure out who all his secretaries are. We only know two. These two people, it's just an update. They got married. They're on the tree already. They're both on the tree and they got married. Then we have Miracle, but we know most of this. We need to figure out Clementine, Mark, Gator Boy, and then Elias, of course. Some Bess, which goes for a while. It's been a while, so I gotta check all this again. Never gonna figure it out. Still need to figure out Cicely Sanchez. I feel like I've searched that before. Probably nothing is gonna come up. Yes, I did, in fact, search it. It's out of print. Non-fiction. What if that were me? We already searched Picto-T. The one that got ripped away. Basilbub. What? Picoti. Magazine. Because of course. Big Sass Sea Bass. Sardonic and sarcastic wit that will leave you reeling with laughter. Um, I mean, there's got to be a way to find it. Company records. Product. What are they making? Caviar and butterscotch. Butterscotch. So if Furo, Christine. This be B for butterscotch. Beatrice Watts. Corinne Schwartz and Beatrice Watts are no longer employed. Which seems to be the thing. Strawberry and Juggle, which is watermelon, apparently. Beatrice Watts. Da, 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 da. There was something I wanted to search in the Portland Telegraph, I think, but I didn't have it at the time. Together. Should I search this? I don't know. No, it's just indecisionitis. Roottrees rift. Roottreemania. Revisiting the diary. I just trying to remember that friggin' book's name. A Life Between Wars. I got that. Where's the recap? Start here. Yeah. No, that's not the one I wanted. Family Man. Reminders. Da-ba-da-ba-dum. But it doesn't tell me what the other book is. Yeah, we already searched that because that's this one. It's written by Bess Williams. Would that make her an author then? Not that I have her picture. Bess Williams was an author born in the late 1800s. She lived outside of Miami and died tragically young in a major hurricane that struck the area. Her notable book, Family Man, is widely considered blatant propaganda about Elias. There's a site dedicated to hurricane statistics that also mentions... Okay. The Bocadoral Library. Where it once sat is now the Miami Print Museum. One of the exhibits in their courtyard, which includes a fountain, as well as a statue of an unknown author. Another's a printing press. The last is an original print of Cuba by Cubans. Sure. Is a book of paintings of Cuba. It's credited to Marisha Barbin. At first glance, it doesn't seem related to your search. Let's take a closer look. Okay, well, that was useless. Alright, but we did find Bess Williams, I assume, here. Oh, yeah, okay. Formerly the Bocadoro Library Print Museum. And we already technically searched for the museum, so that's not useful. Another is a printing press that was used by the Miami Sunday. Holds no records you could find online, or it merged with another became the Miami Mercury Sunday, which folded after only a year. You find a quirky printing history fact that mentions was outcome of merging two smaller failing, which was notable to the author because by combining the names in the way they did, it was tied for longest title for an American newspaper. Miami Mercury Sunday. Okay, the Miami Mercury. If I could friggin' spell Miami Mercury. Haha. Now I want to go to the Miami Mercury and search Bess Williams. It mentions that Bess's young son, now an orphan, was in attendance. Okay. So we know that this is... Oh, I can't mark male or female. All we know that is she had a son. A bidding war. The bidding was won by Wildcat Construction. Statue fountain second room. Okay. Cat Construction. It was also mentioned earlier in 1947. Constructing a Better World. Frank Wildcat Williams. Left Florida in 1941. Having carried a fellow soldier to safety under heavy knots, now he and his wife Ophelia are carrying his fellow soldiers through tough times. Wildcat Construction is Frank's company focused on creating opportunities for soldiers. Ophelia has outreached who are often able to. She has, through such outreach, found 13 veterans of the war to serve as Frank's employees. The community support has unendingly and overwhelmingly positive. Other local companies have decided to step back and just let them do it. As the bids are often not as low as they expected. Frank has a selective monopoly. Yeah, because nobody else wants to get in the way. So this is, I guess, Frank Williams. Oh, Frank Williams. This is Ophelia. Something. What would that be? Like CEO? Construction? There was nothing in the spider search. Okay. Wildcat Williams. Aha. In Sweetwater, Florida. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. He grew up an orphan because his family died in a hurricane. He could barely remember his mother, had no memory of his father. After the war, he ran a construction company. He married his wife, Ophelia, as a matter of currency and convenience. She wouldn't have to change her last name. As well as his daughters, Barb and Sharon Williams. Okay. He's juggling hammers on a construction site. Wonderful. I love it. So he had two daughters, Barb and Sharon. I don't know which one's which, obviously. But one of them is adopted. This one's adopted. And Ophelia didn't have to change her name. He is survived by Ophelia. If I just search Ophelia, if I could spell again. Ophelia? Yeah, of course not. Okay. Barb and Sharon Williams. They show up anywhere? Barb. Oh, okay. Barb showed up, but Sharon did not. Greta Jones, Vic Elmsworth, and Isabel Crosby, Superintendent of Benton County. Kickwell Falls Gazette. Is this a periodical I can get too? What? Small newspaper, Small Town America. Okay. Amongst the details, occasionally stories present outlandish, inflammatory concepts in extremely mundane ways. Mermaids strike back against lobster farms. Better benefits. Okay. There are no punchlines in the article not marked any different. Okay. Unfortunately, each current is present on the homepage. No archives of older issues. Okay. It also brought me there. Still looking at this. Maybe Greta Jones is, according to a flyer in your possession, the morning news anchor for a channel called WQTV 12. Next to the city Springfield, under the heading Effington County. Okay. Springfield, Ohio. Springfield, Massachusetts. I don't know how to spell Massachusetts. 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 Okay, that didn't work. Effington County. I don't know where that is. Georgia. Oh, no, there's one in Georgia and one in Illinois. There's a Springfield. Oh my god. Springfield. Okay. Springfield, Georgia. Greta Flores. Greta Jones before her divorce. It's easier to expect she has a website for her accomplishments. And it seems some of the stories were compiled. Okay, 25 stories of sisterhood by Ayla Hale. Oh my god. Ayla Hale. 25 stories of something or other by somebody. Stories of sisterhood. Alright, that gave something. Jeez Louise. One of the stories by Barb Williams has been added to your okay. Alright, got it. Somehow got there. Alright, what do we got? What was the difference between... Oh, okay. Transcript on its stage. The first part of a story was in 216. My sister Sherry was a brat, always sulking, often disobedient, never on time. She borrowed things without asking him and ran away from home. My daughter Sharon, on the other hand. Why? What was the difference between Sherry, the brat, and Sharon, the beauty? Is it nature, nurture, bitter? Okay. Unexpected pregnancy when she was only 15. Okay, so this one... Barb. Which makes this one... One Sharon. Motivational speaker. Maybe? Manufacturing lawyer. I mean, something like that. Oh, but I need 4 to lock them in, huh? I actually have 4, which means one of these is wrong. Sharon. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No, what? Geez, this. To a teenage girl, it felt like a fairy tale. He was moving in 3 days. Those 3 days were heaven to me. He told me he could actually see me. He planned to return to visit his grandparents. I thought I was giving him a reason to keep his promise. And I finally got a friend of a friend told me he hadn't even given me his real last name. But my parents, they took charge. I had to live at home and work a part-time job, but they removed the burden of motherhood. I managed to scrape out a degree in English. As far as my daughter was concerned, I was her much older sister. Oh, this is Barbara. Yes. Okay. Oh, somebody's coming and knocking. Is it you, Clark? Oh, hey, Clark.
Sam reached out to me finally. I think I have you to thank for that one.
I didn't say anything, so...
My family's in a bit of a rough patch. Even though the candy is selling better than ever, everyone is fighting over the trust.
Yeah, because everybody wants money. You gonna give me some money?
On paper, it seems like the right decision.
Yeah, I think so.
The arguments about what to do next are endless and heated. More than a few Roottrees are worried about losing their wealth.
Maybe they should get good.
I don't think we deserve it more than anyone else. I love my family, my wife, my daughters.
Your current wife, you mean?
Who I hardly ever get to see.
You have a son?
I want to keep them safe and secure. But I didn't do anything to deserve this fortune. Hell, I probably deserve it less than most. It took me way too long to get my life together.
Yes.
Okay, enough about me. Here's the deal. I can't stop the majority from voting one way or another. If you keep passing along potential Roottrees, I'll keep adding them to the list. On the other hand, there's been some leaps forward in genetics.
It's still 1999, so...
It may sound like science fiction, but we can actually determine who's in the family just by testing their DNA.
Yeah, but you still need to know who to test.
What you've done so far has been very useful. Just keep filling out the tree and we'll prepare for the tests.
So he's got a son? So this is going to be Lafferty LaRue. Chem. That would make this one... I don't have any portraits available, okay. Clark. And I guess he's president. But I can't pick President 6. So, advertising still? And he's got a son, apparently. This one's Sharon. I'm still reading this. When I was younger, I thought my sister was the brat, and I wasn't wrong. But she ran away from home to work at that animal shelter. She borrowed my clothes for presentations at school. And her creativity allowed her to open up Sherry's Hair. Okay. So Sherry's Hair. So she's like a Sherry Yastermadzinski. So this is Pete. Yastermadzinski. Hairdresser. God, that is quite the name though. Yeah, Yastrunzinski. Sherry has a large van. College roommate. And they built a charity together. They left the charity behind because it was growing beyond there. She also brags about her kids, Tony, Mark, and Cricket. Her oldest, Tony, seems to get the short end of the stick. I guess this would be Tony. Anthony, then. That's probably the closest one. Anthony. Mark and Cricket, though. Mark, on the other hand, has multiple baseball accomplishments. Cricket York is near the end. And the reason, Cricket York. Tony, multiple baseball accomplishments. Oldest Tony. Mark. Her agent recommended they change her last name to York. Okay, so his name is York. And this is Yestermazinki. So maybe this is Cricket. York. And this is Mark with a C. Probably Yestermazinki. Baseball? Is athlete in here? Athlete is not even in here. But they said he's the oldest and a straight A student, so maybe they're all. But she's an actress on a local television show. Children with different animal and puppets. Oh, so by actor, they had a child actress. Okay. Arithmetic. Math book text. 5th edition news program. Nobody is okay. Yeah, well, obviously. Tutoring companies. This one actually gave me something. What the heck? Included is Cricket York, who has seen Cricket and her brothers are ready to learn. Perfect student, perfect student. Okay. Baseball shirt. So, okay. So, this one's Anthony and this one's Mark. So, they're all still quite young, so they're probably just students. Yeah, Zinky. I still need a picture of Sharon, though. Except there seems to be a small subsection of fans who were deeply unsettled by the company's logo, which would appear after one writes, I was terrified of the little girl in the EDUC82U logo. 82? What is this supposed to be? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, the name itself, though, is kind of like, yeah, of course. Alright. That's weird. Hmm. What about Peter York? Of course. Okay. This is where I was. Superintendent of. They're all fake then, right? Maybe except for Greta Chip. Okay. Well, Vic Elmsworth, according to his own, is apparently one of three brothers. All three of them are contributors to a newspaper called Kikuwa Falls Gazette. Are archived on its site, including the long-form version of the review for Barb Williams' motivational show. On this particular, Barb's talk was at a very large church, and it's clear she is an expert at matching the presentation of her concepts. Specifically, the loss of a bicyclist who had been hit by a car. She spoke about the death of any person as darkness of their loved ones. The biker who died was her son-in-law. And the Lanes Across America charity. Here we go. Okay. Drew Smith. Drew Smith. Her son-in-law. Okay. This guy's name is not York. It must be Esther Mazaki. And these would then be Smith. And this is Drew Smith. And that's this guy. Formerly LAM. Lanes across Miami. You learned that the word lamb means to hit somebody. No. It was founded by Sharon Smith after the death of her husband. Sharon and some other board members stepped down in 1992. It seems that after Sharon, they began to crop her out of the focus on Drew. Okay. Okay, so this one goes here, obviously. There we go. Now I'm getting somewhere. Oh, looks like I finished almost all of the Elias's.